I am not going bye-byes, bud. What's up, Blue Chips? How we doing this morning? Let's see what we got here. Be mindful of negative self-talk. You receive whatever you believe. I was like, wait a minute, I know that rhymed, but then I messed it up. Be mindful of negative self-talk. You receive whatever you believe. Let's get to it. All right, so how we doing today? Yeah, don't mind this SQQ thing. I was testing out a hotkey, which does not work, at least not in the pre-market. I was working on a DT short so that I could get the bracket orders to work, but so I was testing it here in the pre-market, but it did not work. Just to obviously clarify that. Let's see here, demo account. I tried it on ENBL, but I realized it wasn't moving, and it immediately put the stop loss over what it would be. So I thought maybe that was why it didn't put the bracket order in, because maybe it couldn't read that, hey, you're only supposed to lose this amount. But since it was at high of day and risk, it was the spread kind of, I thought the spread might have been messing with it, but apparently that was not the case. So I'll have to see if it works during intraday, and if not, I'll have to go back and figure out why it's not working, but we shall see. So not really looking at anything. Hope everybody had a good Easter weekend. As you can tell, we are still in the midst of the kids. We woke up this morning, and I guess 3 days in a row of them having our full attention. They're a little confused why we're trying to work. And so yeah, it's been fun so far this morning. Go get mommy. Go get mommy. You're okay. Oh, I can't pick you up right now, bud. Love you. Alright, so we'll be just going right off the scanner this morning. Got about 2 minutes here till the bell. SPY, definitely an interesting one so far. I looked at futures before I went to bed last night, and they were gapping pretty far down. And so the fact that we came pretty much back up to where we were when we closed on Friday or Thursday is actually a good sign as far as the market goes. But again, I started looking through all the other stocks that we would have been playing along with it. And as you can see on the 60-minute, or let's just look at the daily, again, they're not even back up to that big run they made on the bounce. Take a look at the SPY. We're obviously making the huge moves up. So it's, I have no idea how to get out of this. All right, I'm just gonna have to close out everything. I thought I closed everything there. All right, let's, okay. Reopen it up real quick. That's happened before, so thankfully I knew exactly how to fix it real quick. Open desktop. Default, there we go. What's up, Amazu? Thomas, marketing, how we all doing this morning? Hopefully everybody is ready to make some money. Got to have that confidence in check. So I don't even know if I saved it with the new hotkey. I'll have to check that later. But here we go. We got about 15 seconds. We're just going to let the scanners do the work per usual. Take a quick look. TOL, that's another one. TOL is kind of one of the ones that was going with the market a little bit. PLAY, not so much. AL, Delta, American Airlines. Yeah, I mean, they're all still pretty far down. So you can hear the bell in the background. That's kind of crappy. I forgot to switch to my headphones. So I'm essentially wearing my headphones for no reason. But off we go. Stay safe. Remember, stay within your risk. Risk management is key. Keep your emotions in check. Just try to be nice and consistent today. Oops. The CEQP looks like it's trying to halt right off the bell here. The CX was interesting. It popped right up. There's really no range, though. Actually, like, no range, looking at the daily. The QP has a ton of room. Be interesting to see if it wants to pop up through 7. SPY's headed down right now. I'm actually going to probably end up getting that off my chart once everything else starts moving here. Looking to the downside right now, since the SPY is moving down. CEQP, the spread on that was a little nasty. CLMT, also not a very good range. Did you run into the door? As you can see, repping the volatility shirt that I was talking about. So FAZ we can't play. Let me move that back up. Actually, see my face. I keep going back to CX because it's like the only thing on the scanner at the moment. CLMT, just no range there. AGRX, I don't think we have shares. No range either. FRO, this one actually doesn't look too bad. Some good resistance there at 10. Let's see if we can get a push up there. Here we go. That's what I don't have up. I still don't know all of my numbers just yet. Okay. So we'd like to see this one get up over 70. Hold on, bud. What's wrong? Can you put them up there? Can you fix them? Oh, you put it inside? Yes, Camden. I see your cracker. You put it inside your toy. He put his cracker inside the toy. A little bit more of a push here would be nice. Alright, we're going to start it. Ended up getting 72 there. So that'll put us over 10 for the stop. It's about a 70, or actually I should have did 50 cents there. I was counting on it getting to 10. So we're kind of asking for a lot here. We might we might have to break. We kind of messed up our entry there. So we might have to change our thought process here. We'll see what it does when it gets down here. The CLMT is halted to the upside. It actually ended up making its own little bit of a range here. So we definitely gave this way too much room, FRO. Should have been, I should have hit the 50-cent button for 20 cents both ways, not 30. A little 3-day weekend to get things moving here. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Christian. Same to you guys. QTNT starting to move a little bit. CLMT, we're going to watch out of the halt. I'm a little confused at what's going on with the level 2 here as well. See how the bid's like constantly higher than the ask? It's a little confusing. The SPY is getting absolutely hammered right now. So it's looking, if we would have hit the 50-cent button, we'd be getting ready to be stopped out here at 92. So we'll see if this ends up possibly coming back in our favor. So right there we'd be on the ask, and right there we would have got stopped out. Let's see if it wants to finish us off even at the misclick of this 75-cent button instead. So right now we technically should have had a loser. See if 10 wants to hold it down here. If for some reason it wants to get us back down to our break even, we'll see how it acts there. We might just get and take it off. Look at that. You see the ask dropped to 80 and then the bid was still up at like 90 something? I wonder what's going on with that. Doesn't seem to really be happening on any other stock that I've pulled up. Was it CLMT? Trying to keep that one up, just to keep an eye on it here. Yeah, look at that. It's like it's lagging a little bit. The market data must be a little behind this morning. So it's not looking too promising here. So it looks like we're gonna go at least test 10 here. Obviously, we're at 9.99.
And you have crackers. You just ate the Oreo and crackers.
This is one of those ones where it would have been nice to be in the 112 situation, right? We got an ad right there around 10. Looking for the final ad through 10. But it's okay. I'm really liking the new system because we just have set risk, right? We win, we lose, we lose. So like I said before, this one should have already been a loser, but because we hit the wrong button, we're still in it. And looking at the overall like 60-minute chart, I mean, this thing could really go either way. It's got highs up near 11 that it could go test. This $10 area is a pretty hard resistance, and it could go as low to like 760. The range, that's how big the range is. So coming back down to our entry here at 72. See kind of what it does here, if it can get back below that area, but it did kind of act as somewhat of a resistance here at 74. So we'll see if it wants to go through that or if it wants to kind of hang out up here, start to form a support. So CLMT opened back up and it went straight down. So really no opportunity there. Really not too much else to look at the moment as far as my strategy goes. Pretty much right back to our entry here on FRO. See if we can get under 70. Maybe we can make a little bit of a rundown here. Now, only if we would have waited to get our entry around 10 like we initially wanted, right? This would have already been a winner. Oh, it would have been close. We would have actually, I think, did we get down there? Nope, not yet. We would have needed this 70 break, but we'd be right on the verge of getting it. But now we need it to break and continue down even further. I think it might retest the 200 SMA. Are you talking about the SPY? I don't have that. Or I do have it up, I think. Yeah, that's at 300. So we're down under 70 here. Let's see if we can get a nice little push down towards 950. We're still above that previous resistance from before, right? That was kind of what we were looking at originally, but we obviously hit the wrong button, and it actually kept us in the trade for now. The idea was to get in so my stop was over the whole $1.10, but I honestly hit the wrong button. I really felt like we were getting in at a good spot because it felt toppy, but I should have moved my button because it didn't make the full run that I thought it was going to. And then, of course, it ultimately ended up making the run that I wanted it to, and we had already hit the button. But in a way, the mistake this time happened to work out in our favor, at least for right now. Let's see if we can't get that push down there towards 50. Volume pretty much just died. VWAP is pretty much right here. I feel like we might get a pretty good dump if we get a little bit of a move down here, like towards 60. I think a lot of people will start to kind of panic sell that we're getting in up top. But I think a lot of people started to see that VWAP was sitting right there. Might get a little bit of a short cover as well. Watching, oh no, we can't, we don't have any shares. Sorry, I was gonna say I was watching USAC, but we don't have any shares there. So we're gonna look for FRO on this bounce to be a little bit of sloppy seconds. Look for it to be a little bit of a bouncy ball effect. See if we can't come back down and test these areas. So it's gonna be a longer trade, obviously. But we see that pattern all the time, so that's kind of what we're looking for as of this point. Unfortunately, we have this bad entry spot, so we really need it to continue down through that area. Which at this point, we could use pivot points. It's another thing, I was actually backtesting this a little bit this weekend, where if we do end up with a bad entry like this, and say it goes past our entry, but we stay in the trade, because I didn't really have a scenario for that. As it's coming back down, normally if we were using like the 112 system, we would be looking if we had any leftovers to use the pivots as our exits. So as you can see right here, it comes up, comes down, bounces up, and forms a lower high here at 983. So if we come back down and retest these lows at 968, we could move our stop down to this pivot point, because the odds are if it gets back up to that pivot point at this point, it's going to continue, right? That's the thought process, because you're looking for the bouncy ball effect or the sloppy seconds, where it comes up, comes down, bounces, and then it just keeps going lower, keeps making lower highs, right? So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of test that theory out, and we'll see if it bites us or not. So we'll put this at 984, which is right above that pivot area. And here you go, we got the move down. So the idea is to keep the bouncy ball effect going. So the only time you would actually exit the trade is if the bouncy ball decides to go an opposite way against you on the pivots. So it's going to kind of throw the numbers off maybe a little bit as far as like the 1-to-1 numbers go, but it can't hurt to play it this way, because you're still playing the chart, right? We're not putting emotions into it. We're just playing the pivots. Man, look at this. If we can get a dump down to 50 here, we might actually get filled, because it might go right through. Here we go. Through. Little dump through 50 to 42. That'd be nice. 44. 44. Come on, baby. Give us one more little push. One more little push. 44. This is a strong move to the downside.
Why don't you go get your water bottle? If you're thirsty, go get your water bottle.
Still, there's not much left at 44. We'd be next.
You know, it's not a good thing.
All right. Ugh. I'm an idiot. Look at that. I broke the rules. We would have got the fill, but it looked like we were about to bounce there after such a big move down, but I'm going to be okay with it. I didn't want to fight it over 3 cents, or what was our order? Yeah, 3 cents. Because it looked like the bid was coming up, and usually when that happens, especially after a big move to the downside, it usually pops up there. And we were so close to 50, I figured that like it's doing right here is what I thought it was going to do. So we took it off real quick, and I'm not going to be upset about it. So pretty good trade, and I'll be happy with it. I'm really surprised we ended up with a winner there. Not our full 1-to-1, but I also do like that new rule. Let me write that down. That was something I just thought of on the fly here. So basically what I just wrote down is I put use pivots if you end up in a trade with a bad entry. So the only way that's really going to happen is if you enter, it goes up to your stop, doesn't quite stop you out, and then you get the pullback, right? So now you're basically either maintaining a loss or you're just trying to ride it back down. So if you're playing the pivots, you're almost always going to have a good exit point, right? So until it comes down and bounces, your pivot point is high of day. It came down, it bounced, it gave us a lower high, and it came down and retested the lows from the bottom of that bounce. So when it does that, now you can move your pivot down because now you have a new pivot, which is at that 983 level. And now, as you can see, on this big move down, if we were still looking to get filled, like say down here at 920, we do not have a new pivot yet because we have not bounced. So you could, if this thing wanted to bounce from here and go all the way back up here to 983, you would have to be willing to accept that loss because that is still the last pivot point. So you always have to keep that in mind. If you're going to use a system like pivots, you have to abide by the rules of the pivots. So in this case, we ended up we were so close to our profit, we would have gotten the fill, but I didn't want to risk it popping back through 50 like it is now. It's what it felt like it was about to do after such a big move to the downside that I am not going to be upset with it. So you guys can I didn't break the rules, but I made a mistake getting into the trade, which kept us in the trade. So I wasn't about to, give back, 10 plus cents over 3 cents. It makes no sense, right? That makes no sense. Literally, you make less sense by letting it do that. So that's something that I've always done. There's no reason, especially when you're in a full position and you're exiting full position, it really makes no sense. But if you're scaling out, it's a lot different because then you can try to scale out because you're close to 1R and you can try to let the rest go. But if you're that close on a full position, you need to be okay. Every once in a while, you're going to miss by a couple cents. But are you really going to let it go back against you 50 cents because you wanted 3 more cents? Like, just say that out loud a couple times. It doesn't make sense.
Why, Cam?
I keep forgetting what this thing is called. It's called OneDrive. I need to open this up every single time I take a screenshot so that it actually saves it. But as you can see, look, here we go. So we got a bounce to 956. It's coming back down to retest these lows. So now you can move your pivot point would be 956. So now if you're playing the pivots, you move your pivot down to 957. And that, I mean, honestly, when I was playing 112, to me that was literally the best way to scale out of trades because it really keeps you in the trade, right? So if you have like some remaining shares left, instead of using a trail because you can never determine how big a bounce is going to be, if you're okay with the pivot system, you can just use that. And if this thing just bounces and then just fades the rest of the day and never goes above a pivot, then you're good to go, right? You can just ride this thing down to $7 if it wants to go that low. That's the beauty of the pivot system. But every once in a while, you're going to get like a spike back up at a random time, like it could be doing right here, and it could stop you out. But again, if it gets above that previous pivot, the odds are it's going to continue that direction. Let's keep looking around here. CEQP. How much going on there? Brian killing it as usual. Let's pull over his charts. CTSO. Always see red above the green with Brian. FRO, he was in FRO too. He got a nice ad there at 10. His first take profit was pretty much around the same spot. He's looking for more. And then he had ZM as well. Everything he trades is right off the scanners, guys. Just to show you. Before today started, as Brian said right here, just the scanner. That's all he's going off of today. Every one of his plays. That's why I get so excited about these things. They make money. They print money. Some of the plays though that he has, he uses interactive brokers. I just do not have the shares, so that's why I am putting some money on there so that I'll be under PDT obviously, but at least I will have the option to trade some of these stocks that I can't normally trade here on CMEG. Which if it's something that you can do, having money on multiple brokers is definitely a good thing, because then if you're a short bias trader, you have more options that, every broker is going to have a different list of shorts. So I was watching CEQP here. I was hoping it would make a run up towards 7. Let's keep looking around here. I meant FRO might retest 200. Gotcha. And you were right. Nice. I didn't even look over there on the daily for that. Oh, yeah, I guess it is right there. It's kind of flirting with it. Yeah, right at this level, too. See, I knew what I was doing the whole time. I was putting my take profit right at the 200 on the daily. Duh. So I think the market is very much in an odd spot right now, right? Everyone going into the weekend thought that we were going to be making this run back up to the highs, apparently. Gapped down a little bit over the weekend, started gapping up into the open. Everyone's like, okay, yeah, we're going to keep going. And then now we're just going right back down again. So I think that's a little bit of the cause of why we're not getting a lot of plays this morning, because everyone's a little confused. 3-day weekend, coming back from a 3-day weekend. People are kind of taking their time here, figuring out which way the market wants to go. GME looks nice here, but we have no shares available if it wanted to make a little run here. Jeff, get out of here. Jeff keeps alerting the same things I'm alerting. So I didn't even ask the wife, so I'm about to get in trouble. But I might have to get off here in a sec, because I forgot it's Monday morning, so I don't know if she's having her meeting or not. About to ask her. Babe, do you have your meeting this morning? Is it about to start? Alright guys, well, you heard it from the boss herself. I am going to have to get out of here. I'm going to obviously still be here looking to make some trades, but I'm going to have to end the stream just in case I have to take care of the kids and all that good stuff. So I don't have anything set up. I was thinking about pulling the scanners up, but I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have that screen set up right this second ever since I switched over. So we'll have to think about that for next Monday. So don't forget to hit that like button, guys, on the way out. I really appreciate it. I will timestamp my trade a little bit later. I am also going to obviously make the normal video. So I will be back tomorrow morning for the full time. Be here nice and early, 9:25 in the morning Eastern, all that good stuff. And I will see you then. Peace. Stay green.